Yeah, welcome to day 67 of Mastering Astral Projection. This was the water ski rope technique again today. I got a little bit better at it this time. I really put some effort into it and I really started to feel it. So this one for me required a little bit of extra effort to really get the feeling of. Still haven't gotten the helium balloon. I tried it again. It's not really tangible. It's kind of like, just imagine yourself floating. Okay. Boring. So, but I really worked with, when you look at a lake surface, it's pretty rough and choppy. So if you imagine feeling that roughness and choppiness beneath your feet, beneath the skis that you're wearing, you can imagine that your body's going to be bouncing up and down. And then imagine that the rope is constantly jerking your hands. And so just really focusing on those two things, and then you could even imagine that the wind is blowing on you. That might help with the sensation. So I used this quite a bit today, and it seemed to, I got more of a feel for it. Today, the sensation of my body falling asleep seemed to be more apparent than before. My whole upper body was tingling. This is a big deal for me because I don't feel very much, so the fact that my whole body felt really still and tingly was a good sensation, but I couldn't get much further than that, unfortunately. So Robert, in the tips this time, starts talking about hypnagogic imagery. That's the kind of thing where you get small dreamlike flashes when you're falling asleep. He said that you might, I think, he said you might get blotches, like imagery of shadows in your hypnagogic imagery. I've never gotten anything like that. My hypnagogic experiences are all very crystal clear. So if you do get something that seems like an ink blot test is what he was talking about when they ask you, what does this shape look like? And you say, oh, it looks like my mother frying eggs. If you have particularly negative interpretations of the images, the shadow-like images that you see, he said when you move into an OBE experience, it can get magnified and cause a negative experience. So, I don't know. Just try doing a cancellation of something. If you have, if you see like spiders or somebody with an axe, turn it into something happy like Mickey Mouse or something. That's my suggestion. And he said to look for day 69 for more on this topic, so we'll wait for day 69 and maybe something wonderful will come up. So body loosening exit problems. So challenges with exit techniques is to not allow mental effort to affect your physical body. We talked a little bit about this, like you're doing one of the exercises and suddenly you feel your muscles tensing up. He says you can identify the problem if after an unsuccessful exit you find your body slightly relaxing from mental effort. So I guess just pay attention to that. Really focus on body relaxation. I found it's a little challenging, so I've been doing a little bit of extra work on making my body relax when I'm doing the exit techniques. Imagine yourself running or lifting something heavy, putting all your mental effort into it so that your muscles will completely relax. Mental focus problems. He said to alternate physical and mental climbing practice. So I don't know, it doesn't seem like anything is other than mental. So if you wanted to practice something, you could do it physically and then bring it into the mental so that your brain has a memory of it. And maybe you can leave the body behind so it doesn't have a memory of it, but I don't know how you would do that. My body, actually, I have a better body memory than I do a mind memory, so that would be actually very difficult for me. Is one of the reasons that I don't really care to practice these things in the physical. So you might be the opposite, though. If you really feel like you need to get a grip on what the sensation feels like physically so that you can reenact it mentally, then practice it by all means. He also said if you are having a hard time climbing a ladder, you could put the ladder in a position like you're climbing up to a diving board. Or you could climb up a ladder that's attached to a tree and you can see the sunlight above the canopy or something like that. Other complications with sexual arousal. He said that some people actually have the sensation that when they're doing their OBE exit, they have an orgasm. So he said one fix for this is to spend time stimulating and developing your second energy pathways and using the full body circuit, or you could relieve yourself sexually before you do the exit attempt. And he said the only reason for doing that is if you tend to become particularly energized after sexual activity. I don't know anybody like that, but maybe there is somebody out there. And resisting exit sensations. Negative conditioning can increase not only exit difficulty, but also the severity of future exit sensations. He said basically be committed to the exit, don't look back. He said don't condition yourself to go to the exit and then not do it because you're chickening out or something. He said, once you make the commitment, stick to the commitment, because there is the opportunity for the subconscious mind to develop a negative reaction to the experience, and then you'll exacerbate the problem of trying to exit. So he said if you've already gotten resistance in some way, it can be difficult to alleviate. So he said pay more attention to deep physical relaxation and positive affirmations, and fantasize about experiencing heavy exit sensations. I was doing that today, actually. When I was doing my work, I was really focusing on the tingling sensation and trying to get it to spread using my will. And I think it helped because I was feeling it, like I said, over my entire torso, and I was really pushing it, like imagining it. It was like something that was spreading throughout my body and growing. So I really facilitated that rather than just be passive to let it happen. He said an acknowledgement of the ability to experience reality separate from your physical being is important as well. So if you can get into that mindset and surrender yourself. Surrender is a big deal. If you have an energy blockage, bouncing, sponging, wrapping, brushing techniques. And sudden energy rush. Shortly before or during the OBE exit, you may feel a sudden sense of falling. He said basically just ignore it. He said if it becomes chronic, spend additional time raising energy and doing primary energy center work separate from the OBE exit practice. Incomplete sensations. You might have the sensation of going through the exit process almost entirely and then get mysteriously stuck in a part of the body. That can indicate that you have an energy blockage in a particular part of the body. He said what you need to do is resume the exit technique, though. Keep focusing all your attention from the physical body to excite the energy body to manifest itself. He said sometimes the OBE exit has already occurred, and due to the mind split effect, it has been unnoticed. He said basically it takes about a minute or so before the projectable double will return, so he said just wait it out. And he said you'll know because the reintegration is a brief tingling and rushing upward from feet to head. And when this is felt, clear your head and try to capture your OBE memories. Okay. Another situation is when the projectable double seems to be glued to a specific part of the body, and focus on relaxation for that particular part of the body. And he said if the sticking point is near your stomach, it can be improperly digested meals. So he suggests that you don't eat any heavy foods just prior to doing your OBE work. And remove earrings, watches, bracelets, neck chains, rings, and other jewelry to minimize potential exit complications. And there you have it. Dreams last night were really fragmented, so I'm not even going to go through them today. Although I did have a dream within a dream last night, which was kind of interesting. Oh, actually there was something significant about my dreams last night because I had a premonitory dream, which was interesting. I was expecting to go to a friend's house today, and I called him this morning to make sure that he still wanted me to come over, and he told me that plans had changed, that this other person needed to come over because there was a issue in his family. And the dream that I had, I was at this same friend's place, and I was talking to his dad, who actually is deceased, and he was asking for healing. And while I was there, a mini version of my friend showed up, and we were talking, and that's when I went into the dream of the dream. Well, the mini friend actually has a resemblance to my friend, and he showed up unexpectedly, exactly how he did today. And when I went into the dream of the dream, well, my friend's dad was asking me for healing work, but then I went into the dream of the dream, and I was confronted with a young woman and a young man, and I was talking to them, and it turns out that the mini version of my friend had two relatives commit suicide. So it was very interesting how that played out. So dream within a dream, somebody asking for healing work, and it being a premonition of what actually took place today. Kind of fascinating, got to admit. So I think that's it. I'll see you tomorrow.